How we going, mate? Today, I thought I'd talk about how having bad days made me a more mentally tougher person. And today, I'm out of nature. I didn't want to come out here today, but I did regardless of how I felt. And the first thing and point I'm going to make is having bad days either makes you or it breaks you as a person. And it breaks a lot of people and it makes a lot of people. It all depends on how you approach it in your mind. You can control what you think and what you do in your mind. Trust me, you can. You may think you cannot, but you can control what you do in a bad situation or when something doesn't go your way. You can either think on the positive side of things or the negative side of things. And as the big picture, a lot of people get wrong because a lot of people think of the negative side of things rather than thinking of the positive side when there is still hope and when there's still something to look on the brighter side of things of. And a lot of people won't want to see that. And I was like that so many times. And it took me a long time just to be able to think how I think now towards bad situations and when something doesn't go my way. And sometimes I still fall back into the negative side of things. So I'm not a perfect person. I'm just giving you my advice and just giving you my perspective on how you can approach it better and possibly have a better outlook on it every single time. Now, I used to get abused at work all the time by customers. I'm not going to say where I used to work. I used to cop a lot of bad things from customers. Things wouldn't go my way at work, and things still do. There's still things that go wrong, and sometimes you can't control it, and sometimes you can control it. It all depends on what happens, really, and I'm not going to really go any much further than that. But every single time I would always have a negative aspect and always think negatively of the situation. And I would just always go, oh, it sucks, I'm having a bad day. Things aren't going my way. So what's the point of even trying anymore? And that's not the way to be. Trust me. There is so many other ways you can be if you choose to be. But I'm going to continue on with my story. I used to, when one little thing didn't go my way, I used to just get destroyed. I used to give up. I used to not even actually try to, look on the brighter side of things. I just look on the negative side of things and not even, look a glimpse at the positive side. And that was pretty sad. I was not a perfect person. I used to cop a lot of things that go wrong at work with orders not being done right, or customers and not being happy with my service or what I had to say about what the actual policy and guidelines were of where I work. I'm not going to say where I work, but it was hard. It was very hard, and you can't make everyone happy. That's the first thing you've got to think. And that was the first thing that probably really truly changed me. And it was the best piece of advice that my manager gave me at the time. He said, you can't make everyone happy, but all you can do is what you can do. And even though it's very broad and a lot of people think that's shit advice, I thought it was good advice at the time because it really changed my perspective on things. Like, oh, that's true. You can't make everyone happy. Things are going to go wrong. People are going to be angry, but you can't please everyone. And that is the first step that I actually took towards, changing my thinking towards things. And I really appreciate my manager for giving me that piece of advice. So, shout out to the manager, but I'm not going to say his name for privacy and confidentiality reasons. So, yeah, it all started off with that. And from then on, when a customer's getting angry at me or something wasn't going their way and they're taking their problems out on me, I just think, well, I'm doing everything I can to help this person. I can't control how they feel, how they think. And the moment I thought that was looking on the positive side of things. And that really changed how I looked at things, truly. And, I wouldn't be perfect at it every single time. It took me a while to get going. And there were some customers that just got on my nerve and just kept revving. And then I would just think, yeah, fuck this, I'm having a shit day. It's so fucking annoying, this customer. They've just ruined my whole day. I'm going to have a shit rest of the day. Everything's going to fall apart. The whole world is going to come crashing down, when that wasn't even fucking true. It wasn't. That was what I was thinking in my mind. The whole world wasn't crashing around me. Everything else was fine. It was just an interaction with someone when something didn't go my way on how I wanted a customer to respond, or something didn't, someone taking something out on me. But I had to look at this perspective, that's not always going to be the case. There is a brighter side to things, and it's just their problem, not yours. And when I thought that in that moment, that's where it truly changed me. And it can truly change you as well. But yeah, pretty much it started off with that. It's their problem, not yours. You're doing everything you can. That's all you can do. And that's broadly positive, and that's kind of mediocre. It's still something. That's how I started, and that's all it's got to be to start to think of negative situations, to make it positive situations by thinking positively. And I've then built that mentality, to when things wouldn't go my way outside of work, when I was trying to go do something or achieve something for my day, and everything wouldn't work out. It would be raining outside, or like I'd pull a muscle when I was running, for example, or something would get in the way, something would interfere with that, and like something would just go wrong. I'd just trip over my own feet, for example, or someone would pull out in front of me on the road and you like nearly have a head-on collision, small stuff like that. And I finally implemented that into outside of work, and when I did that, it truly changed how I thought about bad situations, because I always thought things could be a lot worse. I could be dead, when people would be stupid in cars. I just thought I could be dead, I could be in a worse situation, someone's probably got it worse than me. And that is true. A lot of people can have it worse than you. And when I looked at that aspect outside of work and inside of work, it really changed my perspective. Well, holy shit, I should be grateful for the position I am in right now. And I am truly grateful for the position I am right now, because there's a lot of people out there that could, be wanting to be in your situation, and you're complaining about, something not going your way. And, that's pretty fucking poor. And when I realized that, I'm like, holy shit, I'm just an ignorant little cunt. That's how I thought. And it's true. And when I finally realized that opened my eyes more. I just realized, holy shit, things could be a lot worse. And, I have it so good. I have, everything's, working out in life. And when, that little thing I wanted to do doesn't work out, that doesn't mean I should chuck a tantrum and throw a hissy fit. It just means I should be grateful for the things that I have now and the position I am currently now, because, I could have made progress, but I just don't want to see that. And I should be truly grateful for that, because someone may not even be making progress, or someone may be even not even, in the same position as I am. And that is true. And when I looked at that, it just truly changed me. Like, someone right now, may be in hospital, dying and struggling to survive, and I'm out here in nature enjoying it and taking it all in. Like, every person's situation is different, and everyone's got a different situation, and a lot of people can have it a lot worse. And that's what I urge to you. When something goes wrong in your life, just remember, take a deep breath. If the beautiful blue skies are out right now and the trees are blowing in the beautiful wind right now like this, you have it pretty fucking good, because a lot of people out there wish they could be out in nature right now, or doing what you're doing right now, watching this video, or relaxing and having that peace and calm thing about their day. And when something doesn't go your way, and it's something small, don't complain about it. Just be grateful for what you have, be happy for what you have, and just truly enjoy life for what it is, because we're only here for a short time. Why worry and think that you're gonna have a bad day because of when one little thing doesn't go your way? Drop that fucking drop that attitude, drop that thought, go, thank God I'm alive, thank God I'm in the position I'm in right now, because someone has it a whole lot fucking worse. So thank you for watching today's video. I thought I'd ran on today about this. I am making more content in this area, and you'll probably see me on top of a mountain very, very soon if you watch the next video.